following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts,
Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Go time here on a Monday. It is the Players Lounge.
Yes, indeedy.
Where the two players are Danny McCray, who's got the day off, and we got Barry Church, undrafted free agent, Toledo Rocket here. I am merely Newy Scruggs, coming off a fantastic night of WrestleMania.
I wish I was in attendance, man.
At AT&T Stadium. I was there. Took my kid, Chris Beam, our producer, was there. He took his son to it. It was fun, man.
Was it as electric as the atmosphere made it seem like? I mean, because on TV, it seemed like it was just off the chains, man.
It's an amazing show. And what I liked about taking my daughter, she's not a wrestling fan at all.
Okay. This is your youngest one?
No, it was my middle one.
Oh, your middle? Okay.
The 15-year-old. And I just said, it's just going to be a show. And it's a male soap opera. So I would explain a couple things where, like, this is the Edge, and he's a Hall of Fame wrestler. And so that's Vince McMahon. He owns the company. And so I walked her through different people about what happened, but just the pyrotechnics and just the way they got after the intros.
Oh, yeah. You know the juice is going to be live on the intros, man. Gotta be.
So it was great, man. And and I told her, I said, this is the Super Bowl of wrestling.
It is.
And I said, this is their big event. It's going to be a great show. And I said, you don't need to know anything. I said, at the end of the night, trust me, you'll just say, this was cool. Which she did.
Yeah.
Which she did. I don't know how. Well, I do know how. Working at NBC, Peacock.
Okay.
So they streamed it on the Peacock. So they had a suite. They gave me a ticket to come up to the suite to watch WrestleMania.
For they man.
And I said, can I get an extra ticket? Like, sure. So we go there. They fit us for cowboy boots, man.
Like you talking about let me slide these bad boys up. Okay.
What size you wearing? All right, we're going to fit you for cowboy boots. We'll send them to the house.
Hey, you can't win. You talk about a gift bag?
That's a gift bag.
That's a swag bag for sure.
They had talked to.
You ain't lying.
So they talked to DE because our suite didn't have that.
So then it was decked out like the TV show Yellowstone.
Okay.
So it had a whole Western wear with it, and that was where we got the cowboy boots. And so we got that. Food was over there. They had a whole bunch of bourbon tasting. So it was all the bourbon.
Bourbon tastings as well as cowboy boots?
All the bourbon people wanted to drink. I don't
What type of suite is this?
So, yeah, man. And so George Kittle came through there for the 49ers. He got fitted for boots. Several WWE superstars came through, like Sasha. A whole bunch of folks came through. They would get fitted for boots. Zeke was supposed to be there. Zeke Elliott was supposed to be there, and he never rolled through, but he was there at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I see him and Parsons was up there.
And Micah Parsons together, but they kept looking for him, so he missed his free pair of boots. Man, the boots was nice.
Man, this is the suite I need to be in. Y'all got superstars coming in, NFL celebrities coming in, getting boots, bourbon tasting while watching the Super Bowl of wrestling.
At Jerry World, man.
At Jerry World. I mean, what? You can't beat it.
It was nice.
You can't beat it, man.
I look like the good, cool dad.
I bet you did. I mean, man, I wish I was up in that.
Everybody who came through, man, I told my kid, stand right there, get pictures. He said, who's this? I don't know. We'll look it up.
Get a picture afterwards. I'm with him. I'm with that guy
So this dude right here is an actor on Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's he was the ranch hand on season 1, right?
Okay, so he was in the suite.
Yeah.
So what's his name? I said, I don't know, but just take the picture.
Oh man, so y'all was
they
there.
had him up on the jumbotron.
Man,
they did. They had him up on the jumbotron.
Okay, yeah.
So I just be like, just take the pictures.
Man, y'all had a hell of a time.
Yes.
How was the view? Because I know, on TV, it's hard to.
Sasha,
man, y'all got Sasha on this.
Yeah, we got Sasha in there. Dad, who's this? I don't know, but I'll find out.
Man, y'all got a bunch.
I got all
those was just up in there.
Yeah,
I was get some boots.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh yeah. Nice. No, dude, I'm telling you right now.
Can't beat it.
I look like the absolute cool dad. Now, here's the crazy thing. I asked my 17-year-old to go. She's like, nah, I don't feel good, Dad. I'm kind of sick. So I'm like, okay. So I invited my second one. She's like, well, I'm supposed to go swimming. I think you may want to come to this.
Yeah, you can always swim. All right, WrestleMania is,
so
it's a lifetime event right here.
Yeah, so it was cool, man, and just the whole atmosphere of of what wrestling is. And they got a show tonight over at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, and Raw's War tonight. Just how many people, especially sports, they love it, man. And then Pat McAfee got out there.
I saw he got Stone Cold stunned out there.
He got the stunner, but man, he
got the
good.
dub.
He was good.
Oh, he's an electrifying type of person.
I mean, man, he was really good.
He's in this space right there, man.
I mean, I've seen some other people get in the ring before, like Shaq's done it a couple times, but man, Pat McAfee, you could tell, man, Pat put in the work, man.
Oh yeah,
he was really good. So it was fun, man. It was absolutely fun. So man, great show out there. By the way, today's April 4th. So clubs that hired new head coaches.
They start, right?
Yeah, man, they get the offseason program going. So New York, they getting after it, man.
It's already April, Newey. Jeez.
Yeah. April 4th, man. Draft is April
flying,
28th, man. April 28th. So we about 3 weeks.
They're going to start captains work out here. Maybe in a week or two.
18th.
Yeah, they're going to start.
18th when the Cowboys start rolling. So on their working. So yeah, man, we're getting into this mix here, and so let's just ask a question right here. All the Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com. Did Dallas get better in the offseason?
I can't sit there and say they did. I mean, I understand. You lost a couple pieces. Coop, his contract was a little bit too high as far as the production was concerned. Cedric Wilson, he went to Miami. He kind of played himself up into a better deal. So you lost two pieces to an offense, and you have an aging offensive line. And you've yet to address either of those situations. So offensively, I can't sit here right now, right here today, and say they've got better. Now, can they address these in the draft and get the offense going where they need to go? Of course they can. They can get better. There's a lot of time left. The season has just kicked off. So as of right now, I can't say the offense has gotten better. Defensively, they brought back some pieces. They brought back LVE. They got back Jerron Kearse. They got their nucleus in there. The biggest thing they're missing, in my opinion, was Randy Gregory. And Randy Gregory departing off of this defense, to me, is huge. Even though he didn't, play a lot of games out there. I think he missed, 6 or 7 games this past season. But he was a guy on the edge that teams, when he was playing and he was ready to go, teams had to account for where he was at. And that also freed up some other people on the edge. So defensively, losing him was big. But you also got 4 players back in that kind of an exchange. And you can also address that in the draft. But as far as your question is concerned, as of right now, did this team get any better during this offseason? I can't say that, because the guys they let go, it weren't like they were a distraction. So it ain't like you're getting better by subtracting some people. These guys were team players. They never had caused any ruckus, and when they were good, they were good. So to me, losing those guys is huge. So right now, and you didn't add anybody that says, okay, that canceled that out. So to me, I gotta say they haven't gotten better, but there's an opportunity for them to get better in the draft, and as this early part of this season progresses.
You saw Randy Gregory had shoulder.
I seen that, and I was like, oh man. I mean, look, he played it good. He got the money. He's like, all right, my shoulder needs a little work on. So it was one of those. It was one of them like, Randy, but hey. It kind of worked out on both sides.
But my feeling has always been, I was, look, first off, when I saw the numbers on the deal that the Cowboys were trying, I'm like, man, that's too much money, man. And then when I saw he went to Denver, I'm like, good. I don't think he'll finish 5 years in Denver, so move on.
He'll give him a solid 3, I think, though. He'll give him a very solid 3. For here in Dallas, what we got? What do we get in exchange?
Okay, so I go back to my thing about Randy. You have 2 blue chip players on your defense last year.
Last year you had 2.
Micah Parsons and Diggs.
Yep, I'll give you them.
Then you had Tank. And Tank showed you some when he got healthy, and even before he showed you some good football. Mm-hmm. So these are 3 players better before you even get to Randy Gregory. People in Denver are expecting this guy to come in here and just get to the passer right away. I mean, what they think about Randy versus his role and how he was used here, it's different. Randy was a piece. He wasn't the straw stirring the drink. Good football player, but they're expecting him to be this sack master. I'm like, dude, he got 6 sacks last year.
He was hurt though.
But that's who he is. Dorrance Armstrong had 5 sacks. But I'm just saying, it's that Micah Parsons at 13. Mm-hmm. So if Micah's out here getting 13, you 1-on-1. You supposed to be ball. San Francisco, okay? Tank's playing. Micah Parsons playing. Jimmy Garoppolo got a bad thumb. You ain't touched him. You out here tackling other dudes over here, man.
But he wasn't the only one that was getting bullied in that San Francisco game.
You're right, but
they was all getting bullied out there.
5 years, $70 million. I just don't. I thought that was too much money for that player.
With that price tag, you expect him to be the guy.
30, and he's 30 years old this year.
You expect him to be the guy out there, which is understandable. You get that type of money, you're supposed to be that guy. And I think, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think if he plays a full season healthy, I think he can be a double-digit sack guy.
I'm going to give you a guy who, while he stayed for the Cowboys for 1 year, had the kind of year that you wish Randy Gregory would have given you.
Yeah.
Robert Quinn.
Yes, he balled out. He took advantage of his one-on-one opportunities. He was also healthy, and that's part of the game. Like you said, that's part of the game. And I do believe if Randy Gregory can stay healthy, it's a big if. If it was a fifth, you know what they all say. But I think if he can stay healthy 17, he could be a double-digit sack, kind of a premier pass rusher out there in this league. Now, $70 million, that's a lot of money. You got to be that guy. You got to be D. Ware in his prime. Like, you got to be that type of guy. And
I would not.
I don't know.
I would not have rolled the dice on it. And so here's where I stand on the Cowboys offseason right now. People really want to give it a grade, and they're down on it. I'm just like, you understand, it's not over.
It's not. Like you said, it's still got the draft.
Not over. I'll give you a basketball reference. This college basketball season ends tonight.
Guitar Heels. You know?
Yes. North Carolina looked absolutely terrible in October and November.
They were on the bubble.
I mean, right. I mean, they were on the bubble till they beat Duke at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, now they're in. But, man, they were getting beat at home by Boston College, went up there, got stumped by Pitt. It didn't look good. And so we want to go ahead and just make just what we see right here, and you got to let it play out. One thing we know about the draft, there are going to be some teams who look into some players that they may not have thought, hey, oh, look, we're able to take this guy. And so now they're going to say, well, we can move this player. We don't need – we see it every year. There's more moves to be made.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And there's more teams that are going to – I mean, we see it every year. And you as a player saw – oh, that player got cut. It's June. They went and asked him for the money, you know, and that player said no, and it's free. And so we're going to see some things happen. And the draft has not hit yet for the Cowboys. So let it play out.
I'm with you on that one because I'm going to give you an example. 2014, we're going in there. 2013, we had an historically bad defense. I think we were 8-8 at the end of the year, lost to Philly. They went to the playoffs, whatever. But going into 14, everybody's like, oh, how did they get better? How did they get better? How did they get better? Draft, all that good stuff. And I'm not quite sure when this happened, but we signed Rolando McClain off of the streets. Yeah. I don't know if it was before the draft or after the draft. It's just off of the streets, we signed Rolando McClain. Oh, that's not going to be a big thing. Next thing we know, we lose Sean Lee. McClain steps in, and he ended up being one of the leaders and one of the best players on our defense that year. Led us to the playoffs that year as well. Got a playoff victory. Ended up losing to Green Bay, I think, but overall, I mean, those are the type of moves that people won't see and be like, man, how did they get, how did they still, remain relevant? How are they still a good team? So there's definitely room for them to make that type of adjustment and make that type of signing as we go forward with this season. But if you're asking me right now, did we get better? I can't say yeah.
And that's the thing is you're still in the middle of the process, and people want a complete grade.
That's true.
It's not done, and there's still things, and then of course, guys have to just show up and do their part in training camp. So let's also see who does grow, who does get better.
Good steal from this past year.
Still, Diggs,
yeah.
Look at where Schultz took his game to, from a 5th round pick out of Stanford to see where he is now. So let's see who else grows. Your quarterback now has a whole offseason to get out here. And
he was hurt last year.
Right, get out here and work with people. So wanting to get a grade now is really based off what you're seeing other people do. Yeah. So you want to look at the Miami Dolphins and say, they went and got Tyreek Hill. They went and got Cedric Wilson. They went out here and got Connor Williams. All the Dolphins. And I said to somebody the other day, what place would you say the Dolphins are going to finish in the AFC East right now if you had to put a number? If you had to pick them.
I would say 3rd.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
If I had to do it right now, I would say 3rd.
Right. And you didn't spend a whole boatload of money and gave up a whole lot of picks. And you're talking about, hey, Buffalo and New England are still going to be better?
They're still going to be right there. So, yeah, you're right. You got to see what they do on the field. You got to see what they do. At least training camp. Let's get training camp out the way. See who's healthy, who's not. And then we look
at the style of things. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Let's just be honest. And what are people saying? Can Tua get the ball downfield to Tyreek Hill?
I don't know if he got the arm strength to do it.
Right. What made Tyreek Hill so great? Is it Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes could get him the ball deep?
They can get him the deep. They're going to have to switch it up because Tua ain't got that strength.
They're going
to have to do more yards after the catch with Tyreek. which he has the speed to be able to do. But it's gonna be a change for him.
So, and here's another thing. All right, people talk, oh, the Dolphins. Do you know how the new head coach is going to do?
That's another thing. Look at everybody who was hyped off of Robert Saleh coming from San Fran to the Jets. This guy defense, he's gonna. We haven't seen the ROI on that in a long time.
So there's that's just. But you see the splashes and the flash. You say, yeah, the Cowboys aren't doing anything, and you can get yourself frustrated there. And then you got people, oh, what's Kansas City? What's Kansas City doing? I joked the other day and I put it on Twitter when it happened. You showed me the last time Andy Reid lost a trade.
It's been a while, man.
Show me.
It's been a while.
He sent Donovan McNabb to Washington. How'd that work out?
It worked out great for him.
Sent AJ Feely sent a two. AJ Feely from Philadelphia to Miami for a 2. How'd that work out?
Worked out good for him.
Worked out good for him, man.
Yeah,
Alex Smith sent him to Washington. How'd that work out?
Worked out good for him.
Great. Sent Kevin Cobb from Philly to Arizona. How'd that work out?
The man's been winning trades for a long time.
Okay, he goes up with Buffalo, trades with Buffalo to go up to go get Patrick Mahomes. How'd that work out?
We also, that's historic. That was a historic trade.
Okay, so so Andy Reid calls you hang up the phone
because he's trying to set you up for something,
right? You're about to lose.
But
so
I think what Cowboys fans are so frustrated about, it's just that we've gone through this approach with, okay, we're going to bargain here, bargain there, build through the draft, have our own players, sign our guys back. We're not going to make these splashy moves. But what has it really generated? What has that approach really generated for this Cowboys team? You won a division, which is terrible. You won a division a couple years. You won a playoff game here or there, but of what substance? Have you gotten on a long playoff run? Have you gone to the Super Bowl? So I think what Cowboys fans are saying is that they're just frustrated with the same old approach and not having any type of real substance to it. Now, if you try to do the flashy approach, you may win, you may lose, but at least it might be a different approach to try to figure out something to get yourself over the hump instead of just sitting there saying, okay, we're going to build through the draft, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and have the same results, a 1 or 2 playoff win and then exit.
Great. I'm glad you laid it out that way because let's just go back and look at last year's team, which was basically the same exact approach. Okay?
It was.
Hey, let's try Crazy KZ. Let's try J-Ron Kerr. So you just all right, you did that. Was that approach not successful in terms of you won 13 football games? You won your division. I mean, in terms of just those moves were fine.
Yeah.
Now your team went to the playoffs and just you just wet the bed.
You got
okay,
bullied.
you wet the bed.
You got bullied.
But the approach of getting the players, that was to me, I looked at that was successful.
It was. And then we did it, but then they did it the year before, same type of bargain shopping for free agents and building, and they were terrible.
Now, okay.
They did lose Dak. They did lose Dak.
Thank you. You lost your quarterback, and then when McCarthy hired his buddy to be the defensive coordinator, he was terrible.
He was. But we brought Poe in here. We brought Everson Griffin in here. Guys that just didn't show up.
Okay, and once again, here's Will McClay and the staff giving Mike Nolan what they say they want. Yeah. This is what you said you wanted. Okay, here's what's available, and you didn't have a whole lot of dollars, so there you go.
There you go.
So it was bad, but I give McCarthy credit and the Cowboys credit. They got off homeboy quick. They brought in Dan Quinn. Mm-hmm. They got players that Dan liked and wanted, like a Keanu O'Neal. It worked.
It did.
So to me, when I look at their approach, last year their approach worked. Last year we were talking about this team and not happy at all about the defense. What was the brightest part of the football team the last month of the season? It was the defense.
They were the strong point.
So based off last year's, why I'm not going to sit around here trying to beat them up, because last year their thought process worked. Danny was absolutely right when he said, Dan Quinn is like your first round, but Dan Quinn will make.
He was the best free agent
so
last
now
year.
Dan Quinn is coming back. Mm-hmm. You knew you weren't going to keep everybody. That's the other thing right here I'm just kind of laughing at. Folks, you knew you had 20-plus two dozen free agents.
And even if they did keep everybody, look what Tampa Bay. They brought everybody back thinking they was going to run it back, and it just doesn't happen like that.
And didn't.
It doesn't happen like that.
As you've played, and when they tell you, hey, every team is different.
Yeah.
And yes, exactly, 100%. So I'm just like, hey, man, I'm not trying to be Mr. Homer. I'm just being realistic. Yeah. Let them figure it out. Let's see what else is going to happen here. But if you want to look at the Dolphins and just say, oh, look at what they did, where are they going to end up? They just gave Xavier Howard a whole bunch of money, and my goodness gracious, he deserves it. But
Jesus.
Funny how nobody wants to talk about that Byron Jones contract.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Didn't work out. You know?
I'm surprised. I thought he was going to be a cap casualty, to be honest with you.
The owner out here thirst trapping for Deshaun Watson all year long.
They lucky Tua ain't like Baker. Tua, man, I'm done with this. I'm not did where they would have been at, So
So I mean, this is they've got they trying all this stuff, and where's it gotten the Miami Dolphins?
Hasn't gotten them anywhere.
No, it hasn't gotten them anywhere.
Not at least right now.
No, it hasn't. And when the Bobby Wagner contract came out there,
5 for 50.
Clarence Hill, Cowboy beat writers. Hey, how come they keep having money here? Okay.
That is something. I mean, I feel like all these teams, where is this money coming from? The Rams done. I mean, they got everybody. This is an all-star team. There's the Olympic squad over there right now.
Hey man, you got Allen Robinson over there. I mean, they
still talking about we might still sign Odell too. Is the cap real? I'm just like this. Are these guys going into the luxury tax? What are we playing NBA ball here? What is going on?
Hey man, it's a trip, man. It's a trip.
We trade Lamar for a 5th round.
Well, okay. All right, so Clarence put that out there. Clarence Hill, Star Telegram put that out there too. Here's why he was traded for a 5. You had to take the contract.
With them, yeah, which is hefty.
Okay?
It's a hefty contract.
So you got 3, that's $60 million. So when you talk about, Devontae Parker went from the Miami to New England, he didn't take $60 million with him.
They also gave him a 3rd. It was Parker and a 5th?
Right, you got a 3, but just overall is you got the player, he doesn't have $60 million. So it's just like a baseball trade. How much more money is attached to it lessens what you're going to get.
Yeah, this is true too.
By the way, the Cowboys let everybody know, hey, we're going to let him go. And they were under the deadline. So because there was a deadline.
To where if he's on his team, let's just say March, whatever, they would have guaranteed his contract. So they had to hustle and bustle.
So everyone knows. There's no secrets. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows it. So you're not going to be able to go get some super great deal for yourself because everybody knows, hey, you're
have to get him.
You're not trying to pay the 20.
Same thing is going on with Baker right now. Cats ain't trying to pay that 19.
Why would you?
Nah, they know you got to get rid of him.
Right, you're going to get stuck with the bill anyway. So that's the part to me that's so frustrating at times is fans don't want to understand the business end of this, that it is not all apples to apples with these deals and understanding where their deadlines and when roster bonuses are due. You can't negotiate it. And sometimes you could do what the Falcons did with Matt Ryan and say, hey, can you push this thing back a little bit? And they did it with the full intention of, look, let's push this thing back so we can get you a good trade. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to find you something that works for you, which they worked it out for him to go to Indianapolis. So that was how okay, fine, I'll move it because we're going to work together to get a deal done.
How we gonna get it done.
Amari Cooper wasn't trying to move nothing. No, you owe me this money on this
I want every drop.
Right. Right. You about to get this. And plus, they had control. Cowboys had control. They could send wherever they wanted to.
Yeah, you ain't no trade clause.
So that whole premise of, man, you only got a 5th for Amari. People weren't lining up, hey, man, here's a 2. I got a 2. That wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that gets frustrating at times because you want to get on the Cowboys and you want to say, hey, man, you guys aren't doing your job. Everybody else in the league know what you're doing. They
announced it.
Well, and they got capologists too. Yeah. They know Cooper's got this money due on this date. We know you don't want to pay it because you're in cap hell. You got cap problems too. You want me to take? I'll do you a 5 because I got to take the 60. You want to get this 5? You want to go ahead and cut him for nothing and get nothing. And so, now you're sitting here. You've got a bunch of 5s. And Mick Schatz did a great job, by the way. Mick Schatz, you can hear it right here on DallasCowboys.com. Mick Schatz did a great job of talking about because of COVID and a lot of guys who had an extra year, now these guys are all coming out. So you get there's a whole flood market of players. And so what you'll see in the 5th, right now, in the past years, you're going to get some guys who could possibly 4th rounders in the 5th.
Yeah. Are those guys going to produce?
So I think Cowboys got 4 5th. So you can actually get some good players. You can even use a 5th round on the kicker.
It just depends. At the end of the day, are those guys we got to hit? You got to hit the draft, which they've done.
I don't think we can complain about Will drafting guys.
He's been hitting.
I mean, you talk about just right out the gate, you talk about a 5th, Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz was a 5th. And he took him a little bit, but he developed into a hell of a tight end right now.
I would say for him, you say took him a little bit. I come back into you had Jason Witten who came back.
Yeah,
so that pushed you down.
Yeah, he was blocking all the time. Right. Everybody wasn't coming in there.
And you had Jarwin who then pushed him back down, and so he was ahead, and so he knew more than the. So I look at Dalton Schultz and I think this is a perfectly well done 5th round pick in terms of, hey, he had to grow, learn, then he got his opportunity. Right, he developed. And that's what you're looking for out of 5s.
To get back to the thing, can this approach that we've been talking about, and we're saying it's been a success as far as, maybe the business aspect, your team is always in the running, so we'll say it's been a success that way. But can they get over the hump with this same, like I've talked about earlier, with this same philosophy?
Okay.
Build through the draft and bargain hunt here and there.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
I will tell you the problem. You're not identifying the right problem.
Okay. Let me hear it.
Because I got your answer
got
to
the solution?
the question you just asked.
Right.
I won't say solution, but I got my answer.
Okay.
All right, we'll do that next. He's Barry Church. I'm Louis Scruggs. This is Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com on DallasCowboys.com radio.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Registration is now open for Dallas Cowboys Youth Football Dance Academy and Little Miss Camps. Save $25 with early bird pricing when you register by May 9th. Camps are available at AT&T Stadium and Ford Center at the store in Frisco. Visit DallasCowboys.com/academy to secure your spot today. Our other running partner here on the Players Lounge, Danny McCray, helps run those camps. And as Danny always says, get it in, register now because they will sell out. So you can also say $25 to get your spot because they will sell out.
The quickness.
You're in the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. He is Barry Church, Toledo Rocket,
yes,
Dallas Cowboys safety. I'm Louis Scruggs. Okay, go back. Let's pick it up where you last left off.
This approach, okay. which has been going on since B. Carr was the last one they really kind of splurged on in free agency. That was 2012 when I was still here. So it's been that same approach, and they've had success. 2014 playoffs, 16 playoffs, I think 18 they went to the playoffs. But like we've talked about, it's it's kind of a one and done situation. I'm not saying, going out and being flashy, being the Rams is going to go out there and guarantee, a berth in the Super Bowl or at least a long, lengthy playoff run, but having something different, something, in my opinion, got to change.
So when you say approach, the Cowboys basically have sat out the first week of free agency.
Yeah, they've done. Yeah, that's how they've done.
And Rick Goslin, Hall of Fame NFL writer, has said that's when the worst money is spent because you're paying the highest price. And a lot of times you're paying the highest price and you're not even really getting the best players because the best players don't hit the market. Patrick Mahomes is not going to hit the market.
This is true.
Aaron Donald's not hitting the market. So right out of the gate, what you're getting is Brandon Carr, who was the number 2 corner out of Kansas City.
Him and B-Flow, yeah.
Okay. Flowers was the number one, so the number one corner to get. So you went and got paid $50 million for the number two corner, and then you all mad because he ain't no number one. It's no different than when Alvin Harper left the Cowboys and went down to Tampa Bay, and they're all disappointed. Man, this guy's not that good. He was a number two. He wasn't the number one. So many times in free agency, these guys you're trying to sign, they're not really. You're giving good players great contracts, or you're giving good players who had a great year a long contract. DeMarco Murray had a great year, NFL Offensive Player of the Year, but he was not a great running back.
I think he benefited from a hellacious offensive line.
Right. And so all right. Byron Jones, a guy we all like, man, for your former teammate. Byron Jones is a good football player who got a great contract right out of the gate in free agency. That's what happens so many times. So the Cowboys have decided, we've gone there, we're not going to go do that. Meanwhile, the Dolphins keep on doing that. Remember they gave Ndamukong Suh $100 million? How'd that work out? Mike Tannenbaum got fired. So you start to see some of these people who want to keep participating.
Didn't they know? Yeah.
And they still participating.
And they're doing that route right now. They're doing that route, and it's not working out for them. And like I said, I don't guarantee that going that route and being flashy with free agency will guarantee wins or anything like that. Maybe even the trade. Just bring it in. I think sometimes it can't be all homegrown. You can't just rely strictly on the draft.
All right, I'll come back into this. And I'll just give you a team that's not doing this, who's really good. The Chiefs. Look at the last 5-year run the Chiefs have been on here. They're not out here in free agency doing all this. And so much of what they have has been homegrown, or they've made trades for guys. Yeah. They've made trades defensively for like Frank Clark. So why
can't we do that? That's what it doesn't have to be free agency. Right, it could be the trade aspect as well.
Right. So they're doing that. So that's one way you could do something. Now the Buffalo Bills. Here's a team that 13 seconds away from
going to the AFC Championship.
They did it through the draft. The Bengals did it through the draft. Now, you look at
they picked up some dogs in free agency.
You look at the 49ers and what they did. The 49ers, they made a lot of very good moves. So it's been done. Now, here's my problem with the Cowboys. It's not the approach. My problem with the Dallas Cowboys is you got too many people walking around here like they've won a championship and they haven't won a darn thing around here. That's the problem. Guys thinking and reading the clips, we the Cowboys. No, bro, you ain't won nothing.
Yeah.
You got pictures around here with some of these guys You got dudes who went to 1 or 2 Pro Bowls acting like they Hall of Famers, Ring of Honor guys. And a part of the problem is the owner who sets the tone. I'll never forget when the Cowboys got their NBC game canceled.
No, 2 years ago. On a Sunday night, I think it was.
Sunday night, it got canceled.
Yeah.
And Jalen Smith was like, hey, man, the owner's not tripping. Why are y'all tripping?
That was said.
What?
Yeah.
What? We got your boy Xavier Woods. Hey, man, you can't go hard every play. And nobody comes out and, calls him out. Now, you look at your boy Jim Irsay with the Colts. He came out and said, hey, man, Carson Wentz.
Wasn't that guy?
Hey, man, I talked to some people, stuff I heard. It was disturbing. He had to go. Call these people out when you see it.
So you're saying that the problem is it's not accountability.
People comfortable around
They're
here,
just
man.
too comfortable.
Real
around.
comfortable.
Okay.
So what did we see last year defensively?
I like what they did last year. They brought in Quinn.
People weren't comfortable, right?
Yeah.
People weren't comfortable.
11 was it? How many draft picks were defense? 9 or 10 or something like that? We had people were fighting for their jobs. We seen what happened to the defensive side of the football.
So Jalen Smith went from being Mr. Comfortable to being gone.
Yeah. Guys were fighting for their jobs out there.
Leighton Vander Esch went from, guy who had 1 Pro Bowl year and, hey, he's the Wolf Hunter, he's this and that, to now, hey, man, we're not picking up this deal. You're going to have to go out here and ball.
He's going to have to, and, he got a new deal, but it's like, that's not,
But I'm just saying, to me, when I think about the cultural issue here, and you've got Emmitt Smith saying it, so it's not just me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got Emmitt Smith and other people saying, hey, man, you got there's too much of an entitlement factor around here, which you just say, hey, man, look, No, that's the problem with the University of Texas. You got a guy running. We're Texas now. Well, that doesn't mean nothing. You got to go out here and earn this thing. And, 1 playoff berth or 2 playoff, that doesn't do it. 1 or 2 Pro Bowl, it doesn't do it. It doesn't make you Emmett. It doesn't make you Troy or Dorsett or Randy White or Rayfield. Randy White, Rayfield Wright. It doesn't make you any of these guys, man. There's too many dudes who need to put in some more work.
They got to.
And Mike McCarthy would be wise, in my opinion, to call some people out more.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians calling out Tom Brady, man.
And it can't just be the guys that are, rookies or these guys that are, coming in doing spot duty. Sometimes you got to call out those leaders.
The stars got to get called out
They
too,
got
man.
to.
Greg Popovich had no problem doing it in San Antonio.
How many rings he got?
Bill Belichick get on Tom Brady.
You got to hold everybody accountable, or nobody's going to be accountable for nothing. And then at the end of the day, that's what it's going to have to come down to.
So what did we see after the playoff game? Jerry Jones came out base. He was disappointed in Mike McCarthy. Right.
And what bothered me was the players, even after the playoff loss and after playoff or regular season losses, what did you hear from the locker room? Oh, we got to go against two teams, the refs and the team we're playing against. We got to do this, that, and that. It's just excuse. There's never, I got to play better. I got to be the guy. It's none of that right now.
So that's why I'm like, man, don't talk to me about the approach. Talk to me about the accountability and guys walking around here as though they've won something. And it hasn't happened. To me, the standard is dropped.
Can you change that without bringing in veteran leaderships from the outside? Like if you keep bringing guys in from the draft and keep doing this homegrown approach where the only thing they know is the Cowboys way, can you really change that culture in there without bringing in some veteran free agents out there or some veteran guys that are outside the organization that can maybe shed light on to these new guys and show them the way to actually be like professional and hold everybody accountable and maybe get them over the hump? Like I said, I'm not sure that'll work either. But
I'm looking to the head coach for this.
Yeah, you got to.
I'm looking to the head coach now. What are you going to do? You going to allow guys to keep running out here and blaming the refs and jumping off sides and all these penalties? To me, this is the thing. What starts with you?
Yeah.
Mike is always fond of saying he knows how to win a Super Bowl. He's done it. Okay. You can't win a Super Bowl being the highest penalized team in the game. You can't win a Super Bowl with 12 penalties in the playoffs. Can't win a Super Bowl when you go down. You can't get a snap off at the end of a game. I mean, so I'm going to go to the head coach to say, when are you going to set your own standard that these guys have to understand it's not good enough? Because they're about to fire you if you don't have a great season.
He got to go. He has to go. He has to have a hell of a season, in my opinion. He's got to have a hell of a season.
Right. Or Sean Payton or Dan Quinn is going to be coaching his team next year.
Yeah.
The owner's 80 years old. So he's not going to sit around here and wait.
He wants now. He wants results now.
Right. So when we talk about the approach that I see and how they build their team isn't my issue. It's how these guys are more style than substance.
More flash in the pan.
Run around the Hot Boys. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What the Hot Boys won?
They haven't won. They haven't won. So
and then you hear Cheeto, okay? Listen to Cheeto's words and what he talked about going to Cincinnati.
I didn't hear what he said.
Basically, Cheeto said, man, we up here about football.
Yeah. I can see that though. Like we see it all the time. Like you said, when the whole Jalen Smith thing, hey, if the owner ain't tripping, we ain't tripping.
Right.
That's just something. That's not an approach you can have as a player going into the game.
I'm saying that Hot Boys changed. I mean, what you want?
I mean,
you ain't won nothing.
Nothing.
So yeah, that's why that's my issue. Just okay, we got too many guys walking around here acting like they've won something, and they've nothing has been won of significance. The standard is dropped around here, and if the owner and the head coach aren't calling it out, I'm sorry.
It is because, like you said, the leaders on the squad supposedly are all homegrown, and they're all hey, they've been stuck in the same way. If the owner ain't tripping, I ain't tripping. And you just can't have that approach because at the end of the day, owners may own the team and the coaches may coach it, but the players have got to take it upon themselves to go out there and get the job done. You can't rely on anybody else. You got to go out there and get the job done.
And that was my drumbeat for Von Miller. Go get me somebody who can walk into the room who's got rings that can tell you your standard and your accountability is not where it needs to be to go here.
Because he's been to the tops.
And so who's in this room right now that's going to sit up here and, who's setting the standard?
I don't see anybody right now.
Okay.
Because if you look at Ty Smith, who's, Hall of Fame resume and all that stuff, if you miss a certain amount of games, I don't care who you are, players it's going to go in one ear and out the other. And he's not vocal to begin with anyway. So, who do you look at? Zach Martin, he's not really that vocal guy either. I know you got Dak out there, but at the end of the day, has he really gotten to that mountaintops?
When do you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. When do you get tired of watching? I mean, I don't know about you. Once again, you've played this game. But to watch another team walk out on your football field with a boombox, you know, with an old school, big time, giant boombox, to walk to the field for a playoff game. That wasn't
the first time they did that. You do realize that, right?
Who, the 49ers?
Yeah.
No,
they did that every game.
Okay.
So that was their bit.
Okay,
right?
that's
just letting you know. That was not just. Now they videoed it for the playoffs, but no, at their stadium, there's stuff when they were at their stadium or other places that they did that every time.
Okay. Well, they walked out there with a boombox.
They did it at your house.
Dallas got the football first. They shut that on down on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 49ers got the football, and then they just beat you up and went right down the field, scored a touchdown. They set the tone. So we're going to walk out with our boombox as a wild card, and we're going to tell you about to get this whooping. We about to come in here. We coming to your house, Jerry World. Me and our fans, we buying up tickets. We going to come in here, and we going to punch in them out. Pow, pow, pow. And then they won the football game.
They did.
And despite the fact that they took it to you, 2 minutes and 42 seconds left, you got the ball to your quarterback.
Had an opportunity.
Your $40 million quarterback, you had an opportunity, and what you do?
You squandered it.
Wet the bed.
2:42 left. You had an opportunity.
After the game.
This is what legends are made of type stuff, and, you know,
after the
weren't able to do it.
After the game, what we hear? Hey, man, the refs.
They wanted my guy in the back to be Usain Bolt to spot the ball, and you just can't put yourself in that situation. Penalties will do that. They will kill drives. And when did we see that playoff game when it mattered most? Penalties on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, whether it was Randy Gregory tackling an offensive lineman who didn't even have the ball, or if it's, holding penalties on Connor Williams or whoever was on the offensive line at that instant. It's not going to work out.
Okay, now I bring it back to how we began this. What did the offseason approach and how they went about building the football team have to do with what happened at the end?
But then we go back to if you bring in those
that wasn't the issue.
It wasn't. It wasn't the building part. I can see that. At the building part,
built a good team.
They built a good team.
You built one of the better teams in the NFC.
The one or two pieces of that veteran presence in there, just to calm cats down a little bit. Might have been. It might guarantee, but it might have been a difference.
Who did that need to be?
Whether if it like we've seen what the Rams did, they brought in a Von Miller. It didn't have to be Von Miller, but could have been somebody with that type of a guilt, with that type of whatever. He had veteran substance, whatever it is. They didn't have to bring him in free agent. They could have traded for a piece.
You could have gave up a 2 for Von Miller.
You could have.
Okay.
And maybe that, basically, gets everybody calmed down and seeing where they need to be at in situations. Because we looked at it sometimes when those guys were out there getting bullied, they got frustrated. And what happens when you get frustrated? You start getting penalties. You start getting stupid penalties that you can control, offsides or holding or face. I wouldn't say face man, but holding, offside, stuff that you can control as a player. When you get frustrated and you don't have that person to back there and basically calm you down and get everything situated, it goes off the hinges. And we've seen it happen a couple times here with the Cowboys, especially last year.
Well, they better get it right. Hey, let's take a break. Look, man, what's out here now? Okay, Dallas Cowboys draft guide. It's out here. Let's
draft season upon us.
Let's chat a little bit about pick 24 here. He's Barry Church. I'm Newey Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10 free shipping.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Head to the Star in Frisco for the 2022 Cowboys draft, presented by Miller Lite from Thursday, April 28th through Saturday, April 30th. Enjoy live draft coverage, entertainment, a free youth camp on Friday night, and the Draft Day 5K presented by Baylor Scott & White Health on Saturday morning. For details, visit DallasCowboys.com/. You are listening to the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. Danny McCray is off today. We got Barry Church, former Dallas Cowboys safety, in here. I'm Newey Scruggs. The Dallas Cowboys, the Star magazine's out. The official 2020, Dallas 22, I should say, Dallas Cowboys draft guide is out here. Cowboys with the pick 24 right now in the draft. So round one. So by the way, so just go through their 2022 draft picks. Round 1, 24th overall. Round 2, 56 overall. Round 3, 88th overall. Round 4, 129. Round 5, 155. Round 5, 167. Round 5, 176. Round 5, 178. Round 6, 193. So that's what they're looking at in terms of picks. In the past, when you talk about the Cowboys hitting at 24, Calvin Hill, 1969, running back from Yale. 1992, by the way, Calvin Hill on a Super Bowl team.
Great dude, too, man. Great dude, by the way.
Yes, great person. Grant Hill's daddy. Okay, so for you basketball fans out there, Grant Hill was on the call this weekend for the Final Four.
You mean when Duke took that L?
That L. We watched his head coach's career get ended by the arch rival.
Hate to see it, as they say.
You know, his dad wanted him to go to Carolina. And,
I heard that story, yeah.
And I when I used to do NBC Sports Radio, I would always ask the Duke guys when I would have them on. First off, I always tell them that I'm a Carolina fan.
Gotta represent.
We feel sorry for you. And so, that was the great icebreaker, because then it became a personal petty battle.
Oh, yeah.
It was very much
Open
petty.
them up.
And so I would ask guys like him and Leighton, you picked Duke, but who finished number 2? Inevitably, every time it's Carolina.
So they got respect for Carolina. It ain't like they just, that school ain't nothing. They got respect. It's just heated rivalry.
Coach K just ended up winning out. And so what'd you say, Bean? What dart did you throw there?
I said they had deeper pockets.
That's true.
Oh, you mean like Zion, who all of a sudden Bill Self was offering $100,000 in a house, and he just ended up at Duke for free?
Somebody got paid. Ain't gonna say no names though.
So, yes, Calvin Hill, number 24, 1969. Number 24, 1992. Robert Jones from East Carolina. Played on 3 Super Bowl teams. Okay. His son, Zay Jones, is playing a player in the league today. 2010, Des Bryant out of Oklahoma State was number 24. The last 5 picks at number 24 in the draft. 2021, Najee Harris of the Steelers.
Solid pick.
2020 for the Saints, they took Cesar Ruiz, offensive lineman out of Michigan. Yeah. He is playing now for them. 2019, running back Josh Jacobs went to the Raiders out of Alabama.
Playing well over there.
2018, the Panthers took receiver DJ Moore out of Maryland.
He just got a bunch of money.
Good football player. And here's your bust. In 2017, the Raiders taking Gary Conley out of Ohio State. So
the corner? Was he the corner?
Yeah, he's the corner out there. So, but right now we're seeing that there's talent here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing I keep kind of want Cowboy fans to understand is, look, you're 24. There's going to be some talent.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get some boys out there.
You're going to have an opportunity to take a good player.
Frederick was what, he was like a 30?
31.
31. Like,
So,
I mean, you can find some cats out there.
I mean, where was, they passed on T.J. Watt, and then, so, I mean, you can get a player, okay?
Taco.
Right? There are misses every year in the first round. So Cowboy fan, you're going to be able to get yourself a good football player. Now, looking here at the by the way, I mean, what's in this Star magazine with the picks and just going through the players, I mean, you really need to pick it up here, especially if you have
tremendous read.
It's a great read, but they've got the Cowboys taking the center out of Iowa.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if that happens.
Linderbaum.
Does that give you chills?
Oh.
I mean, we saw how important Frederick was to this offensive line, how great it was. When you have a guy who can be the quarterback of your offensive line, get everybody situated in the right spots, I mean, it's game-changing, not only for protection, but for your running back as well. So if this guy, Linderbaum, is as hyped up as they say he's going to be, I mean, if he falls down there and we ended up getting him, I mean...
And this is David Hellman, who also works here at DallasCowboys.com.
Shout out to D. Hellman.
Yeah, D. Hellman. So that's what he's got. He's got the Cowboys taking Tyler Linderbaum. And his write-up, he says, even after losses, after losing a few big games on their board, big names on their board, the Cowboys still wind up with a wonderful choice between Linderbaum, Texas A&M's Kenyon Green, or Boston College guard Zion Johnson. I lean toward Linderbaum, who could go a long way towards anchoring the middle of this offensive line. When the Cowboys' offensive line was thought to be the best in the league, you had Travis Frederick at the center. So you had a great Pro Bowl center along with a Hall of Fame left tackle in Tyron Smith and a Hall of Fame guard in Zach Martin. But you do need your middle solidified. You were a young man, but many years ago, after Mark Stepnoski left the Cowboys and went to the Oilers, they tried to plug in a kid named Clay Schreiber. Chris Beam, you may remember Clay. Nice guy, too small.
It was too small.
Too light.
He ain't have enough bricks in his pocket, huh?
And it was just it was a problem.
Yeah.
And to me, that's where I look at just you really need to go back here, solidify your middle, and
because if you can solidify that middle,
it's just important.
It's because it gives your quarterback an opportunity to step up. I mean, Dak Prescott is athletic enough that where if he got edge pressure coming, he can step up in that pocket and he can wheel and deal and make things happen. He can elude the pressure. But when you got guys right in your face from the snap, either bulling over our guard or bulling over our center, it makes things extremely hard, especially at that quarterback position.
You know, from your time playing, the first thing you've got to do is try to win the division.
You got to.
And you look within the division. And from a defensive standpoint, you got a Fletcher Cox who's going to be back there in Philadelphia, and they've got some big boys over there in Washington.
New York got some pieces as well.
So you need to solidify your middle. And if you have aspirations of winning a Super Bowl, well, you're going to have to go through the Rams and Aaron Donald. You're going to have to go through the Buccaneers. They got people up there.
They got cats out there now.
They've got guys who can. So to me, I if this were the case for the Cowboys, I would do cartwheels and tell you, you know what, man, what an outstanding opportunity here to get Linderbaum, and even if you get Kenyon Green. But Jerry's talked about them solidifying the offensive line. It's no secret that they need to go ahead and do that. We'll see what they do. I know a lot of people are all about a wide receiver. I'm sorry.
And it's a deep wide receiver class. Like I feel like you can get guys later on, third, fourth. You got a couple fifth rounds. You can
second round.
I mean, the receiver class is deep and it's loaded with speed. So you're good on a receiver. Offensive line is where we got to solidify this thing. We got to get this thing right.
Game is won in the trenches, man.
It is. We witnessed it. The playoff game, the most important game last year. What happened? We lost in the trenches, both offensively and defensively. We got punched in the mouth and could never recover from that. So you got to solidify these trenches. When the Cowboys were at their best, during this 2010s and all that good stuff, they had a great offensive line. It started to get old, a little wear and tear on those tires, so you got to juice it up a little bit. We're not better to do it than the draft, since they don't want to go out in free agency. They don't want to get the trade, so might as well solidify it in the draft.
It's an option. It's an option, but I look at, if you want to talk about the best receivers in the game right now, I mean, we just saw Cooper Kupp come up with historic. Third round. Yeah. But, come up with a historic season. Devonta Adams. Now the highest paid wide receiver in the game. Well, actually, I'm sorry. He's the second highest paid receiver. He got the highest contract when they gave it to him. The Dolphins gave Tyreek Hill more.
Oh, yeah.
So Devonta Adams, second round pick out of Fresno State.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, fifth round pick out of Oklahoma State.
D-Hop. DeAndre Hopkins. I mean,
D-Hop was a first-round pick.
He was a first-round?
He was a first-round pick out of Clemson. Stephon Diggs was a second-round
That's
pick.
what I was thinking. Okay.
So when I tell people you can find these guys in different rounds, it's pretty funny. Now I'm looking at David Hellman's mock draft here in the Star magazine. He's got the Packers taking a first-round wide receiver.
Yeah.
Now,
When that first time in,
they don't do that. That's not what they do. That's not what I mean. I would hope they would for the sake of Aaron Rodgers, but this is not normally what they do. Their philosophy is not to take a wide receiver in the first round. They just don't do that.
they got to do something. Their number one option right now is I think Tunyon, and he's coming off of ACL. I mean, Lazard ain't re-signed yet. They lost Vaquez Scantling.
So I just look at this for the Cowboys, be it defensive or offensive line. That's to me where they've got. You
got to beef up.
Go right here, see what it is you can do, and improve your team that way. I'm a big proponent of the center. I just think center play matters.
It's huge. Identifying blitzes, making sure everybody's on the same page, where the line is sliding, and miscommunications can happen a lot on the offensive line. They all got to be as a cohesive unit out there. And what we've seen ever since Frederick was happened to have his illness and had to step away from the game, it's just been a lot of confusion. We've been plugging and playing guys here and there, and sometimes they haven't stepped up to where they need to be at. And right now we need to get that solidified. If they want to move forward and be this team that a lot of us think they can be, because they have the talent, skill position, they have the talent. It's just, can we get these trenches in order? And right now, I think that's the biggest issue for this Cowboys team going forward.
And I can't emphasize this enough, especially as the Cowboys get ready to start their offseason workouts on the 18th of April. How does Josh Ball get better? Their fourth-round pick they took out of Marshall. And I know some people are down on Joe Philbin, the offensive line coach, but I'll also come back into this. Joe Philbin's also the person who's the offensive line coach when you saw Terrence Steele make the jump and get better.
Yeah, very true.
Can they do this one more time? Can they hit on another draft pick? A guy you played with, Doug Free, fourth-round pick out of Northern Illinois.
Played a long time here.
Worked his way up here and to become a starting tackle. So Ball needed to get some strength. He dealt with some injuries last year, but this is where you hope, if you're the Cowboys, internally you can make your football team better.
Yeah, I think we both can agree. There's a lot of pressure. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this coaching staff and a lot of these players this year to get the job done. And I think hopefully McCarthy's taking that right approach. I mean, we've seen he skipped out on the order. I gotta get in the lab. I gotta do the. It's going to be a lot of pressure on these guys to hit in the draft and these players to go out there and execute, and then these coaches to make sure they're all held accountable and they plan it and they're putting them in the best opportunity to win.
See if you can't get Will McClay down here. I know it's tough. This is his busy time.
This is his busy time, but yeah, I'll give him a call, see if we can get him on.
I would love to know, hey, who are some guys that you're looking for that next jump? Because they spent a lot of draft capital on defense last year. Where are some of these guys at, and what can you look to, and how can they improve? Because we look so much at, hey, you need to go get this guy, you need to go get that guy. Who can improve? Can Jabril Cox improve? How does in at the linebacker spot? What about the corners you took? How they improve now, knowing what goes through a full season, what to look for, understanding what technique's all about. That was something as a safety that you had to understand the speed of the game and the technique.
A lot different, yeah.
How do these guys get better? That to me is where I don't think fans talk about enough. Yeah. Because you just
it's the new toy. They want that new toy.
Right, but Terrence Steele was a guy when I was out at camp in California, you could see the guy was getting better.
And he went out and showed it.
Sean McEwen, the tight end, you could see he was a guy who was out there at camp getting better. So I don't think sometimes fans want to give the Cowboys enough credit for not only drafting but developing. You can always draft a guy. Yeah. Can you develop the player to where they can become a contributor? And look no further than Dalton Schultz is that type of player. Dak Prescott, that kind of player.
I would agree.
So if they do that, then maybe, once again, this approach people are complaining about, maybe you'll feel a little bit better here. And I don't say that to just pump a bunch of sunshine. There's a proven track record of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And while the Rams made it work by saying, forget these picks, let's go out here and pay people, the Cowboys' approach has been done by other teams in the league.
Because they used to do. I mean, early '90s, they were doing that kind of a Rams type approach. You know, bringing in Haley. You know, bringing in Dion.
Well, that was a trade. Well, see, Haley was a trade, and it was a great trade. Because Charles apparently urinated on someone's car. And Bill Wall said I had enough.
I believe every bit of it.
And so they got him for a song, and they felt like we needed this veteran here to get us over the and it worked.
And it worked, man.
And it worked. You know, but Dion came after they'd already won 2 Super Bowls.
Defensive Player of the Year too.
So yeah, but a lot of the stuff that Jimmy had and what they did, a lot of those guys were homegrown dudes. Yeah. A lot of them were. So. We'll see. We'll see. All right.
Real quick. I'm reading through this. Did you ever? I know you don't drink alcohol like that, but you ever had a chance to sip some of that? What was it 8? That Troy Aikman, his new light beer that came out.
No, I don't drink. I think somebody said they're gonna send me a case of it. So if I get it, I'll bring it to you.
Send it to your boy.
If I end up getting, if I get that case of beer, I'll send it to you. I think somebody at the station may have already snatched that case of beer. I knew he don't drink. I'll take it.
Yeah. If you come across, just go ahead and toss it over to your boy.
Oh, okay. I'll and maybe I'll see if we can get you some for
those sports videographers. You gotta watch out for them.
Them late hours they come to.
Noah probably swiped it from you.
Noah doesn't drink either. So
okay.
so yeah. But we'll see. Maybe
we'll see what can happen, man.
Couple cans of 8.
Hey, come on, let me slide on that 8 real quick.
All right,
we'll see.
Barry Church,
no doubt.
Chris B.
Maybe you need to make a call, get him in here on the players' lounge.
Yeah. So told him, break some of that 90 mil he just got up off of there, man. Jeez.
Talk to him about it.
Yeah, so you
bring some 8.
Making 90
we'll talk
mil,
some sports.
There you go.
90 mil. You don't need to be up here. You don't need to be up here doing no podcast. Okay.
Just slide the 8 our way, man. That's it, Troy. That's all
some
we
of these guys not trying to do that. It's like Eli and Peyton, man, you ain't seeing them on trying to do get up.
They ain't doing none of that.
Get up around the horn. We ain't doing that. You get a certain point in time. Don't even ask.
You want me to try to get him on?
Yeah, try to get it.
Throw it out there.
Hey, I'm gonna shoot up a DM.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next week. Players Lounge. Goodbye.
Later.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?